Prelude. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to my 1999 Honda Prelude. You saw that. It's funny because in this video I was going to tell you about how rare this car is, and we just seen a black Honda Prelude. Looks like a SH also driving around. So anyways, if you guys follow the channel, you know that I picked this car up recently out of Oregon. I've had the car for exactly 1 week now. Yeah, we didn't go over the car necessarily in the last video, but I said I would. All y'all know is that I was looking for a Honda Prelude. I was originally looking for a right-hand drive Honda Prelude, and then I thought to myself a couple things. One, I could get a Honda Prelude for much cheaper here in the States. That's left-hand drive, obviously, and then still have enough money to buy like a small K truck or K car or something like that. But little did I know that searching for a Honda Prelude here in the States, you end up finding yourself a lot of junk cars and a lot of automatics. And so when I finally did find some not so junked stick shift manual transmission, the prices were more than I expected, or more than I thought I was going to pay, with the plan of buying an American spec Prelude that's a manual transmission. The whole thought of like still having some money left over for another car wasn't it. Let's start going over my car. Shoot, I actually don't know where to start. Well, I should start with my love for the Honda Prelude. It started back when I was in high school, and as I said in my last video, I ended up buying a 1999 Honda Civic DX. If you guys don't know, the Honda Civic DX is the lowest you can get. It had no sunroof. The mirror caps weren't painted. The door handles weren't painted. No air conditioning. I think it only had a radio, maybe a CD player. I can't remember. I think at the time it went for like $12,000, whereas the Prelude at the time I think went for, I can't remember if it was 23 or 25, something like that, $1,000, which in today's money is the equivalent of $45,000 or so, maybe less. That's 45 is what I paid for my 4C in today's money. So imagine back then spending what I spend for the 4C as a used car. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyways, as a high school student, there's no way I was going to afford a $20-something thousand car back in high school, right? When your minimum wage is $6.25 back then. So yeah, no way. So I ended up getting the Civic DX. Yeah, so always wanted the Prelude ever since high school. And then Trent the other day asked me a question of like, well, a lot of years have passed by. Why didn't you buy a Prelude and any of those years when you could afford it? And why now? So to answer that question, basically throughout my life there was cars that I wanted at that moment. You know, so like the Porsche Boxster I wanted at that moment. The BMW 330 Ci, same thing. Even I had a Scion XB at the moment. I don't know, I went crazy and I was like, I want this little box car. It's crazy. Always wanted the Prelude, but when I finally could afford it, there's other cars that I wanted at that moment. So now we'll go over the car itself. So yeah, here it is, all black, and it is a very clean. Had one owner, 64,000 miles when I bought it last week. I put about 600 miles or so just to get it from Oregon to the Bay Area. And as you can see, and as a lot of people say, it is clean, very clean. The interior as well. It's pretty much all stock. I'll tell you what is not stock, but, well, I mean, it is stock. It's just a few things have been replaced. Actually, it says like two things have been replaced, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about in just a bit. But as you can see all around, it is pretty much all stock as it was back in 1999. Right now I have it in the shade. Now that I look at it, I'll get some shots in the sun so you guys can see a little bit clearer, especially when it comes to the paint. Okay, so now that you've seen the car, you know that it's only been one owner, 64,000 miles, pretty much untouched, all stock. Originally, when I thought to myself, I'm going to get a Prelude stick shift, it's probably going to need some work. So at the time, my idea was air suspension, wheels, body kits, go wild in the interior with like some red Recaros or something like that. But even this car, when I knew its condition, I thought to myself like, oh, maybe I'll get a new stereo for it, something like I got in the 4C. And then Trent was telling me like, you know what, maybe you should just keep it stock. And I was like, we'll see. But now that I actually drove it all the way from Oregon and I see the condition in person, what it is, that's what I'm going for now, is more of a OEM plus look to it. So whatever I do add to it will still look OEM. So a lip kit all the way around and a few things that I need to change. And that's about it, pretty much. Maybe the steering wheel, we'll see. Oh, I see the other Prelude again. Oh, hopefully it comes in here. I'd like to see it. Maybe even talk to the guy. But yeah. Okay, now I'll go over. Oh yeah, it is coming back. Here, let's get it. Hopefully they don't mind me putting them on video. There it is. Look at that. He also has red calipers on the brakes. Super nice. Oh, he has new headlights. How's it going? Yeah, I thought that this was too. I thought the wing was a SH. You don't mind, right? I was actually like, I just picked it up a week ago in Oregon, and I was like, I wanted to do a video on it, and I saw this one. It's funny because I was going to talk about how rare the Preludes are, and then I see another one.
That's like the only other one I've seen.
No way.
Yeah, it's nice. It's clean.
Thank you. What year is this one?
2000.
2000. Oh, okay, that's a 99.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many does it have on it?
64,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So 158 was not too bad also, and it looks like overall stock, right? Just the Enki wheels. Yeah, no, it looks really good. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you too. Congratulations. See it. Look at that. Woo! Wow. All right. So back to the car. I don't. That's cool to see two Preludes. It's funny because they were just saying how like, yeah, they haven't even seen another Prelude into this one. They said their neighbor sold them their car. But yeah, back to the Prelude. Now, actually, I really should get it into the sun, or maybe we could see what I'm talking about, because everyone talks about how clean it is that has seen it, but they haven't seen all the details. Now, yeah, look at that. Stock radio, manual transmission, interior's looking good. These don't really fade. Look at the carpet, the rugs, like flawless pretty much. And look at the gauges, 64,000 miles. Look at that. The doors perfect all around. Wheels. Look at that. So yeah, look at that. Steering wheel, like it's in perfect condition. And again, back to the gauges. Look at that. There's no scratches there. The radio, like, barely has any wear and tear on the buttons or on there, or even in the cup holders. Like, it's just in great condition. Look at that, no wear and tear here. This works as it's supposed to. Whoa, there it is, the air dispenser. And then, yeah, everything just works. Some backpacks and stuff on the back, but trust me, the back is in great condition as well. Yeah, it looks good, right? It's in great condition, but it is not perfect. It's not perfect by a lot, and I'll show you what I mean by that, by it not being perfect. And we'll start off in the interior bolster part. It appears that there is a little hole there, and from what Matt and the fellas, oh, my phone fell. From what Matt and the fellas at the dealership at Family were telling me, is the little old lady would press her elbow up against here to get out of the car, and after some time that just went out. So that's it for the interior. So yeah, actually, I'm sorry, there's one more thing about the interior that is good and bad. So I'll tell you what I'm talking about, or I'll show you what I'm talking about. There is no cracks, great condition dashboard, but that's because she had that cover on there. But because she had that cover on there, there's adhesive. Now I know you're already thinking, oh, it's just adhesive, you'll be able to take it off. Absolutely. So yes, it's not perfect, there's adhesive there, and a bit of me is worried that, and in taking it off, there was a little bit here that came off no problem. Some right here, some of it already came off with ease, and no issue at all. This Brentwood, California heat definitely helping get this off. But yeah, see, look, that for the most part is easy. This over here, not so much. I could probably get it off with that, some goof off, or some sodium bicarb water mix, diluted sodium bicarb. So I work in biotech. For y'all, that's Arm & Hammer. Okay, now for sure that is everything for the interior of the Prelude. How do you guys say it? Prelude or Prelude? Anyways, Prelude. Whoa. All right, next we'll go to probably what is the biggest flaw or not so perfect or damage part of the car. And this is something that in video, Matt and folks at Family Motor were not hiding at all, and is that the front bumper has, it appears that the old lady hit something here, so it is definitely dented. They don't think that's something that could be fixed. That probably has to be replaced. I don't know if I want to replace this completely, especially, you know, I told you I already ordered a lip. I decided, you know what, either put the lip on this and just live with this because at least it's original, or I don't know, maybe it can be fixed, I'm not sure. And you can tell whatever they hit might have been like a truck or something, because there's another perfect line right there as well. Now because of that, on video, Matt and them said, or it wasn't Matt, I think it was his brother, said that when you will see when open the hood, there's no stickers on the hood, and there's no Honda stickers on this fender, which means it's probably been replaced. And then the other thing that I noticed once I started washing the car, cleaning it, is that two things. One, this headlight doesn't look as yellow as that one, or it barely has any yellow, both of them. But look at that. It does have like some movement to it. This one doesn't. This one's solid, but this one's the one that has more yellowing. So it leads me to believe that maybe it's weird, right? Because this has been changed probably, and so is that. But this is the one that's wobbly and clear. So I don't understand. But that's a couple things. The headlight being a little movie and squeaky, and being slightly more clear than that one is interesting. Okay, now the other thing, oh, not on this side, passenger side, I didn't notice until I got home and I started seeing something flapping, is there's electrical tape here on the mirror cover, and then it was covering a hole here. And so yeah, you can see that that's a easy replacement. I'm wondering if I could either replace the cover of the mirror or maybe the entire mirror. Either way, yeah, parts for the Prelude are not the easiest to find, but I should be able to find something to just replace that. So that should be no problem. I don't know if they brought it up at the dealership. Maybe I just got too excited and didn't look at the whole video they sent. But no big deal. That's no big deal at all. Now, all the other things are very, very minor wear and tear. Actually, there is this one. Totally forgot about this one right there. There's a little bit of that could probably be buffed out. I don't know if you see that right there. And other than that, there's no like dents or dings or hole. Oh, well, there's that mirror hole or anything like that. No major scratches, just little things. And you'll see for $19.99, this is really nice as far as that. But before I take it onto the sun so you guys can see the paint in more detail, I will go over what the dealership did do to the car prior to me picking it up, or prior to putting it up for sale, actually. So one is they went, and this is a family of ex-mechanics or current mechanics, so they didn't have to, but they went with the slotted and cross-drilled brakes or discs. And then of course all new brakes, all new tires. Then with the Toyo tires, of course all the fluids, the oil change, the oil filter, all of that. Pretty much all the fluids of the car have been redone or done. And also the timing belt, crazy, they said it was still the original timing belt on the car. Yeah, 64,000 miles, but it's 1999. So yeah, brand new water pump and timing belt as well. The spark plugs, the spark plug wires, the cap as well has been changed. And yeah, so that's a good time to open the hood and check it out. All right, so here is the engine bay, and it is extremely clean. Right there you can see it's still all original. Intake is stock, and you see the valve cover still in really great condition. The spark plug wires, the cap, all that is new. Again, the spark plugs, very good condition. Now, because this is from Oregon, and my understanding is the lady didn't live in Portland, which is nearby where I picked it up, but they lived closer to the coast. There is some rust on the exposed metals, you know, like right there, and then you can see a little bit of rust throughout there and there, but nothing major. I saw a video of underneath the car as well. It looks to be all in good shape, very, very clean condition, and they've taken care of it. I definitely need new bulbs. These are still the same old bulbs that are very hard to see, which is probably a good segue to just having a car from the 90s. Well, we'll go over that right now. Of course, I've driven a car. My first car was from the 80s. And then, like I mentioned, I had my first brand new car was a 1999 Civic DX, which obviously had less things than this Prelude, if that makes sense, right? This one has a sunroof, that one didn't. This one has air conditioning. And other than that, though, if you think about the technologies that we have in our cars today, and I'm not just talking about like your Lexus, I'm talking about pretty much any new car that you get today. For example, I have gotten used to and didn't realize it until I was driving here from Oregon that this car can't tell you how many miles you have left before you need to pump gas again. Now, I know what you're thinking, especially you older folks, is like, well, you just look at your mileage, right? You set your trip, and then you're supposed to know. You're supposed to know your car. You're supposed to know like how many miles you've gone before you can get gas. But what I'm talking about is the car just telling you right on the fly, on the dash, in the speedometer, or wherever it is, the infotainment, how much you have, how many miles you have until you need gas. Obviously, this one doesn't do things like that. Also, another thing that I didn't think about, and little things that we take for granted as well, is like the other day I was wondering how hot is it right now, because right now here in Brentwood it is probably 90 or close to 90 degrees. But I was thinking, how hot is it? And then I was like, oh yeah, there's no way of telling in the car. There's nowhere here in the car where it tells you what the temperature is. There's nowhere in the car that tells you how many miles you have left before you need to pump gas. Also, when I was driving up from Oregon, or driving down from Oregon, I should say, I thought about like, there's no wet mode in this car. There's no sport mode. There's nothing like that. It's raw. It's just very mechanical. Even the mileage, as you can see there, like it's just, you can see it turning as we go along. But that's all you get. There's no infotainment. See, that's it. There's no backup camera, and obviously, like the backup camera. Well, not I shouldn't say obviously. Maybe some of you don't know this, but yeah, the backup camera. I don't think it was mandatory until maybe 2016 or something like that. So this is a 1999. Trin's car is a 2004, and it had a backup camera, but that's a Lexus, and it's considered luxury, and they had all these things that you wouldn't see in all the cars. But just to put it in perspective of having a car from the 1990s, from the 1900s, yeah, you could see how fast you're going, your revs and gas, and if the car's overheating, that is it. I mean, yeah, there are power locks, there's automatic window down, there is adjustable mirrors, no leather interior, although the nice thing about this type of material is it never fades, so that's good. Well, I shouldn't say it never fades. It hardly fades. I guess this is the time. I kind of already mentioned it. My plans have changed because this car is not a junk Prelude. It's not something that already needed a bunch of work. So the plans for it, and I've already done this, I've already ordered a lip kit for it. So I'm going OEM plus. The lip all around from the sides to the back will be very, very close to the lip kit you would see on a Type S from Japan. The front one, on the other hand, it would have been way too hard for me to find a lip kit from a Type S, probably been more expensive. So I did go for a lip kit that looked as close to the Type S as possible, so it'll still look Type S-ish, but not completely. Still look good, I promise you. So yeah, expect the front and sides and back to have a lip kit. And of course, I think we should definitely do the fog lights, which go right in there where that cover is. We'll get that out and put some fog lights. Headlights, I'm considering. They have one that's very, very clean and very close to stock. Has slight black around it, but trust me, it still looks classy. But we'll see when we get there. The other thing I was considering is, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe it's either the Type R Integra steering wheel. So I think it's the DC5R, if I'm not mistaken, steering wheel that looks much better than this one. Has dated way more than better than this one, I should say. And although I do like the stock shift knob, I'm considering maybe getting something else. Although the other one I'm considering is titanium or metal, and in this heat, that's going to be a problem. Other than that, honestly, I think this car is just fine the way it is. Love the way it drives. I just need to maintain it as well as possible. Keep it clean. OEM stock is what we're going for. And that's it. It's going to be an easy build. I think what we got next is, well, I'll close this. I'll put it in the sun before I leave and show y'all the paint as close as possible. And just so you can see it. Right. Another thing I was saying, or I was going to start to say as I saw that other Prelude, is just how rare these are. I believe this one they only made less than 10,000 for sure. So it is the least selling Prelude. The second gen I think sold over 300,000. This one under 10. So of course I'm just going off of Wikipedia, but they were saying something that the Integra and probably some of the Civics are what took away from this car from people buying them. Here we go in the sun. Now you see the Prelude, and again, like I said, it is not perfect. It looks very, very clean, but you can see all the swirl marks. And then back here, hopefully you can see it. I saw it when I was cleaning the car, but there is a lot of like blue tint or blue mica or whatever you call it, and in the paint. Look at that. Very nice. Very beautiful paint. And again, yeah, very good looking overall and really good condition. But again, it is not perfect. It is far from perfect. A lot of little things as far as like paint correction and all that needs to get done. See, now maybe we can see the hood to see, yeah, the hood has that blue, that bluish. So it was done right. Whatever fixes they did was done right. See, there goes another little mark right there that I didn't know about. But yeah, absolutely beautiful, stunning, but not perfect. Back inside the Prelude, and like I mentioned, it is a hot day here in Brentwood. 90 degrees, I believe, is what the high will be today. But just to close off the Honda Prelude, I got to drive it 600 miles from Oregon to here, and so I got to spend a lot of time with it, and I must say I'm in love with it. I'm so happy that I got it. It is a classic already, and I've gotten nothing but compliments on the car. People messaging me, calling me, and telling me things. Been very smooth, very comfortable. Power is there when you need it. The VTEC, you know, what can I say except this is a keeper, just like the Alfa Romeo 4C. The Prelude is also a keeper. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot. Let me turn off the car, man. I almost forgot to show you the trunk. Check out the trunk. Yeah, I finally have space for my Honda Moto Compacto. It's upside down right now, but let's get her out. Can't believe I almost forgot my Moto Compacto, the Honda. If you guys follow the channel, you know it didn't fit in the trunk of the 4C. So, it's a surprise. That's why I bought a Honda. I bought a Honda just to get a car that could fit the Compacto. Kind of kidding, not kidding. Yeah, crazy. I totally put the Moto Compacto in the trunk. Said I was gonna record with it out here and take photos of it with the Prelude for the first time, and I almost forgot. I feel bad for the Prelude. It's out here sitting in the sun, so maybe I'll get in the shade and then take this out for a ride. We'll see. I think we're good to go. Yeah, here we go. Moto Compacto. Look at that. All right. Moto Compacto and Prelude. What a combination. Oh yeah.